How World War I started. One gunshot, one summer morning. One decision that changed the course of human history. In 1914, Europe was the center of global power. Rich, confident, industrial, and armed to the teeth. No one believed a single assassination would ignite a war that would kill millions. But it did. This is the story of how World War I began. Part 1, a continent under pressure. At the start of the 20th century, Europe looked stable. Kings sat on thrones. Empires controlled vast lands. Factories powered booming economies. But beneath that surface was tension, growing year by year. Four major forces were pushing Europe toward disaster: militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Militarism meant nations were building enormous armies and navies. Germany and Britain were locked in a naval arms race. Battleships were being constructed at record speed. Military leaders were gaining more influence in politics. Everyone was preparing for war, even if they claimed to want peace. Then there were alliances. Europe had divided itself into two powerful camps: the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Great Britain. The Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances were meant to prevent war. Instead, they guaranteed that if one country fought, others would be dragged in. Imperialism added more fuel to the fire. European powers competed fiercely for colonies in Africa and Asia. Land meant resources. Resources meant wealth and power. And finally, nationalism. People believed their nation was superior. In places like the Balkans, different ethnic groups wanted independence from large empires like Austria-Hungary. That region became known as the powder keg of Europe. It only needed a spark. Part 2, the assassination. June 28, 1914, Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was visiting Bosnia, a region Austria-Hungary had recently annexed. Many Serbians were furious. They wanted Bosnia to join Serbia instead. A secret nationalist group called the Black Hand plotted to assassinate the Archduke. That morning, several conspirators waited along his motorcade route. The first attempt failed. A bomb was thrown, but it missed its target. Most leaders would have canceled the visit. Franz Ferdinand did not. Later that day, his driver took a wrong turn. And by pure coincidence, the car stopped directly in front of one of the assassins, Gavrilo Princip. He stepped forward. He fired 2 shots. One hit Franz Ferdinand. The other hit his wife, Sophie. Both died within minutes. In that moment, the spark was lit. Part 3, the dominoes fall. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia, but instead of negotiating, they wanted punishment. Germany offered Austria-Hungary unconditional support, what historians call the blank check. With Germany behind them, Austria-Hungary issued a harsh ultimatum to Serbia. Serbia agreed to most of the demands, but not all. It wasn't enough. July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Then the alliances activated. Russia, protector of Serbia, began mobilizing its army. Germany saw this as an act of aggression. On August 1st, Germany declared war on Russia. 2 days later, Germany declared war on Russia's ally, France. Germany had a strategy, the Schlieffen Plan. It required defeating France quickly before turning east to fight Russia. To reach France faster, Germany invaded Belgium, but Belgium was neutral, and Britain had pledged to defend Belgian neutrality. On August 4th, Britain declared war on Germany. Within 1 week, Europe was engulfed in war. What began as a regional dispute became a continental catastrophe. Part 4, a war unlike any before. Many believed the war would be short. Soldiers marched proudly, expecting to return home by Christmas. They were wrong. The Western Front soon turned into a deadly stalemate. Both sides dug trenches stretching hundreds of miles. Between them lay no man's land. Machine guns cut down soldiers in seconds. Artillery bombarded trenches day and night. Poison gas filled the air. For the first time in history, industrial technology was fully unleashed in warfare. Tanks rolled across battlefields. Submarines attacked ships underwater. Airplanes fought in the skies. The war spread beyond Europe. Because European powers had colonies across the globe, soldiers from Africa, India, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand were drawn into the conflict. Even the Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers. Eventually, in 1917, the United States entered the war after repeated German submarine attacks and the discovery of the Zimmermann telegram. What started with one assassination had become a world war. Part 5, Why it truly happened. But here's the truth. World War I didn't start because of Gavrilo Princip alone. The assassination was simply the trigger. The real causes were years of rising tension, dangerous web of alliances, unchecked militarism, imperial competition, and extreme nationalism. Europe's leaders believed war would be quick and glorious. Instead, it became 4 years of unimaginable destruction. By the time the fighting ended in 1918, over 16 million people were dead. Empires collapsed. The German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the Russian Empire, and the peace treaty that followed, the Treaty of Versailles, would plant the seeds for an even deadlier conflict. World War II. It's easy to think history changes in dramatic moments, but often history changes because of long-building tensions, finally reaching a breaking point. World War I was not inevitable, but it became unavoidable because leaders failed to step back, failed to compromise, failed to see the cost. And when the guns finally fell silent, the world had changed forever. If you want to understand today's world, you must understand the wars that shaped it. Subscribe for more powerful stories from world history, because the past is never truly gone. It echoes into the present,